Hey MetaFam, Weasel here. Welcome to the channel. So let's talk about the top 5 reasons why MetaZoo has become so successful in such a short period of time compared to its other TCG counterparts. What is the secret formula behind MetaZoo's trajectory to the moon? Is MetaZoo really MetaCoo? There are many cumulative factors, but today we'll be discussing the top 5 reasons on my list. Of course, we all know that magic is real, and real magic is everywhere. But that's only partly the reason why MetaZoo has become such an international sensation. So without further ado, let's get into some MetaZoo. Please keep in mind that there is actually no specific order to this list. This is just top 5 reasons why MetaZoo has done so well in this TCG and alternative spaces as well. So the first reason would be MetaZoo is focused around cryptids. So according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, a cryptid is an animal or creature, such as Sasquatch or the Loch Ness Monster, that has been claimed to exist but never proven to exist. So contrary to popular belief, cryptids don't have to be supernatural, mythical, or even all that strange, though many popular creatures acquire these characteristics as their legends grow. So cryptids actually can pretty much be anything in not even the fantasy realm, but just day-to-day life. Like for example, here are some cryptids. So giving credit where credit is due. So this poster is from the DreamWorks film Rise of the Guardians, and it goes about the adventures of, you got Mr. Santa Claus here, you got Jack Frost, the Sandman, Easter Bunny, and if I remember correctly, this is the Tooth Fairy. So pretty much all these holiday favorites, all these holiday heroes are all considered cryptids. So in Western culture, we already grew up with stories of Santa Claus coming on Christmas Eve bringing presents to all the little boys and girls of the world. And now it's just retold in trading card format. So MetaZoo actually has a Christmas promo of Santa Claus. You can see him here, right here. He has the power of spreading joy, like we did, but he does best. And he has his attack is called Present Smash, which is a pretty amazing name, considering the gigantic sack that he has. And then on all MetaZoo cards, there's also a flavor text, which is over here, which gives a pretty witty description of the cryptid that's on the card. So in this one, it says Santa Claus is one of the few cryptids that was, for some unknown reason, allowed to pass through the veil in order to spread joy to the world. So I think MetaZoo did a really good job in this flavor text, as it included what everyone knew about Santa Claus with the world of MetaZoo. So the veil is a really important part of MetaZoo, where the cryptid, it separates our world and the cryptid world. And alongside Santa Claus, there's also Jack Frost, who came released in the Nightfall set, which you can see the Nightfall symbol over here. And I'm sure to follow, there'll also be a Sandman card, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, all our childhood favorite fairy tales as well. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe they'll be made into promos. Maybe they'll be like a fairy tale set. You never know. So MetaZoo does have a lot of leeway working with cryptids. So another franchise you may have heard of before, Pokemon, is also loosely based off of cryptids themselves. Like on this cryptid wiki here, you'll see that. So other notable Pokemon influenced by cryptids, Abomasnow is based off of the Yeti. So there's Abomasnow there. Lapras based off the Loch Ness Monster, and Zapdos, which is based off of the Thunderbird. So we all know how popular Pokemon has been, and Pokemon, to be honest, I feel like they're reaching a stage where they're just creating items now as Pokemon. For example, my best examples I like to use is Vanillite. They made a ice cream cone into a Pokemon. There's also my other favorite, Garbodor. If you don't know, it's just a pile of trash. Literally a big pile of trash. In MetaZoo, there's a lot more leeway in that there's so many cryptids around the world. Mike has already released his, I guess, outline of actually the next few years of what MetaZoo will be doing. So Cryptid Nations is the first arc, MetaZoo. So that includes the sets that are already released: Cryptid Nations, Nightfall. There's going to be Wilderness coming soon, UFO, Ouija, and then the next one will be Yokai Island, and I'll go into the more Asian cryptids. So yeah, playing off of entities that are already very well known is definitely one of the top reasons why MetaZoo has become so successful. And let's now move on to number 2. And number 2 is actually Michael Waddell himself. So there's a really good saying that I heard in the past, which is don't bet on the horse, bet on the jockey. So the horse being MetaZoo and the jockey being Michael Waddell, the creator of MetaZoo. So this is Michael's LinkedIn page. This is within the public realm because, like you can see here, I'm not even signed into my LinkedIn account, and Michael's account is for all to see. So Mike Waddell, founder of MetaZoo Games, and then you can still see some of his experiences. So May 2020, he started as the founder and CEO of MetaZoo Games. He said this in previous podcasts before. His education, Columbia University in the city of New York, with a Master of Science. And something that I have found pretty interesting just going through his LinkedIn page is this article that's called Limiting the Deformation of a Spacecraft's Hull Through the Application of Piezoelectric Materials 80705. And you can actually, if you go here, you can actually see the publisher, Mr. Michael Waddell himself. And so what I found interesting about this article is that he literally wrote a publication about going to the moon. And now he's just taking us all with him. So when I first heard about MetaZoo, I was really interested in a TCG that surrounded cryptids. But what got me more interested was actually these interviews that Michael did on Rudy's channel, so Alpha Investments. So there's this one, it's called MetaZoo Reserve List, and also MetaZoo Mike Waddell Fear and Risks. So these are two really great interviews that delve into Michael's mindset about the game, and also it shows a lot of his character himself and his devotion to this project. I wouldn't even call it project now, it's literally his career now. So if you haven't checked out these videos yet, I would really urge you to look at both Rudy's interviews with Michael, and also Michael has also done a lot of interviews back in last August, so August 2021, which does give you a really good mindset of the man behind the product. So actually back to the LinkedIn, you can see that his honors and awards. So he did have a very credible career path ahead of him. So there was the National Science Foundation grant, Google grant, received grant from Google to create a machine learning platform in the cloud. So in one of his earlier interviews, I remember Mike talking about how he was actually hand packing the sample cards and sample packs in his kitchen alone, and he was doing all the, I guess, production work and all that stuff. Just in his small home kitchen. I shouldn't assume that he has a small kitchen, but I'm just imagining that in my mind because we all know like people like Jeff Bezos, Amazon CEO. I'm not too sure his title, but I'm gonna say Amazon CEO. And this was his first office back in the 1990s. So Amazon is now a global Goliath in production, shipping, and all that stuff. And you never know. MetaZoo doesn't need to have like a big name behind them. You just need to have a great leader to follow, and that he is actually someone with a lot of drive and can take MetaZoo where it needs to be. So that's why in the number 2 slot, Michael Waddell, the creator of MetaZoo, is definitely one of the main reasons why MetaZoo has been successful so far. So number 3 on the list would be MetaZoo's marketing. I haven't in a very long time seen such an aggressive marketing campaign that MetaZoo has been doing. So that includes collaborations with distributors, with big box stores, with so many different product lines. I'll just go through a few of the different collaborations Metazoo has been doing since last August. So it's been half a year now. So we know that the latest one so far is there's a Metazoo and Walmart. You can find Metazoo products at Walmart's now. It's 3 plaque blisters with a chance of a box topper in it, second edition Cryptid Nation, and there's also a special Piazza Bird promo that's designed specifically for the Walmart product. Also similar to the Walmart one, so it's Metazoo coming soon to Target. So I'm in Canada, so unfortunately there is no more Target in Canada because of logistical errors. There's a good documentary about it. It's pretty interesting. But for those in the US, congratulations. Likely going to be another cool promo with the Target release, and that's coming later this year. The next one is the second Kickstarter, which I have actually quite a few videos about. It's Metazoo with the United States Playing Card Company, and they are doing, like, playing cards are, I guess, just poker cards, and there are a lot of different add-ons that's being released right now and a lot of different stretch goals. So if you haven't checked out the second Kickstarter yet or want to join it, there's a lot of different products that you can pledge still, so definitely check that out. I'll have a link in the description below. Dimac with Metazoo. So Dimac is the clothing brand of Steve Aoki. So there are also actually a few promos for this. So you get a clothing of specific size, and then you have a chance of getting specific promo cards. Next promo, Pin Club. So Pin Club is Metazoo's version of trying to get into, well, the pin market. So you do get, like most Metazoo products, you get a special TCG promo. This one is the Cryptid Nation set. So there is a pin club so far for every single set. So for Cryptid Nations, Nightfall, and Wilderness is coming out soon as well. Next collaboration we'll talk about, Metazoo and Revive Skateboards. So this was announced late last year, and so that's why it says coming early 2022, and that just looks amazing. Recently, Pokemon has also released quite a few skateboards as well, and they've been wildly popular. Fourth reason why Metazoo has been so successful: what is a TCG without a TCG community? So I have to give a shout out to Jody. He has created MetazooHQ, which is pretty amazing. It's a resource for everything Metazoo. So it literally actually says, so by Metazoo fans for Metazoo fans, and it's really the major knowledge hub. It has all the sets. You can look at pretty much every single card and even previous products as well. Let me see. So you can see, so even from starting from the base set, you can see the sample packs. These are really nice pictures. He's put a lot of, well, I guess him and the MetazooHQ team has put a lot of work into just getting all this information into one space. There's also another area, I can't find it right now, but it actually goes into the Metazoo Hour notes as well. So every time Mike does the Metazoo Hour on Discord, that's pretty much a time where anyone on the Discord can ask Mike anything, and Mike will do his best to reply back for response. A lot of leaks and information have been revealed during that, but of course, not everyone can make every Metazoo Hour. Even for me, Metazoo Hour is generally during my regular workday hours, so I have to rely on MetazooHQ for all that information. Metazoo has also been doing an amazing job in reaching out to its fans in person. So this is a photo from one of the Metazoo conventions, and as you can see, like, the line is ridiculous. So there is the Whatnot booth, and there's the Metazoo booth over here. So there's the artist signings, and of course you get special promo for going there as well, which can definitely be worth your while to attend the Metazoo booth at these different card conventions like Collecticon. With so much public exposure in person and even on online platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, whatnot, Twitch, you name it. Metazoo is on there. You can find an amazing community to be part of, and I'm a part of a lot of them, and definitely there are a lot of great people. It's a very positive environment, and it's just really hype. So collectability is the final reason and a cornerstone of any TCG that wants to make it in the long run. At this point in the video, I'm just super tired. I had a super long and busy work week, so I didn't get to pull up pictures, so I'm just gonna use a good old Google to explain mostly this part. So collectability, there is the secret rares. You have the Cryptid Nation First Edition secret rare in the box toppers, red ink. You have the blue ink, which is the second edition Cryptid Nation secret rare, and you have first edition Nightfall secret rare old scratch. This is actually inside the packs in the booster boxes, so not in a special box topper or anything like that. The collectability of these three secret rare cards is just a limited amount of prints that's available for them. For example, the red ink for the first edition Cryptid Nation box, there's only 250 in the world. So think of how many, so there's 25,000 first edition Cryptid Nation boxes out there. So that's pretty much 1 in every 100 boxes you'll have the chance of potentially pulling a red ink. So the scarcity of the card definitely increases the value, and which increases the collectability of Metazoo as a whole. It's the new age of TCGs. Stonking is definitely a part of the TCG culture now. You can definitely enjoy collecting the cards. I myself am a collector investor. Investing in TCGs is just a part of it now as well. Metazoo has a large collector base, definitely a growing player base, but we have to look to the future, and TCGs are now a investable class. Metazoo is not holding back in the collectability sphere. So with the newest Kickstarter, with the USPCC, so the playing card Kickstarter, there are 2 special tiers that you can pledge to. So the top one is called the Headcaster tier, and with that one, there's only 250 of those tiers available because there's going to be serialized or numbered cards, so 250 of them only in the whole world. And also the next tier is called the Artcaster class, and then that one will have 1,000 unique serialized cards. And serialized cards has been in the TCG realm for quite a while, both in non-sports cards like White Schwartz, and also in sports cards, basketball, baseball, hockey, you name it. There is serialized cards, and those are the holy grails in their respectable collectible markets. So one last thing to talk about in collectability. I'm not a major fan of it, but I do think it's a really important part of Metazoo is the NFT side of things. So no other TCG market to date has done this. The NFTs, or the non-fungible tokens that Metazoo have, as you can see here, just sparkling in front of you, they actually have a utility. So it's not just like a photo that you see spinning in front of you that you can use as a GIF, but these actually also grants you early release to certain products and gives you special NFT related products as well. Mike has made it known that there will be future NFTs, and they will have different utilities. So not all of them will be grant you access to early product release for a day. So I don't know, maybe the future ones will grant you maybe infinite promos. Maybe one of it will give you infinite times to meet Michael Waddell. I don't know. So that's really interesting. Utility and NFTs, definitely something to look out for in the future. A lot of different big companies, like Disney as well, they're all looking into the NFT space. And although I'm not a big fan of NFTs for now, I might have to join it sooner or later. And speaking of NFTs, everyone remember the Sotheby auction with the Mothman that's in collaboration of Steve Aoki and Gal Yosef. So just to refresh everyone's mind, the winner was AK09, and the amount paid for this NFT was $214,200 USD. And this is what the NFT looks like. Sorry, that kind of scared me a little bit because I have the volume on on my end and it was really loud. But yeah, look at that. It is really amazing. I wish I could turn the sound on. There's really nice music that goes along with it. But yeah, this NFT, to my knowledge, doesn't have a utility. But just look how amazing that is. So with that, let's summarize the video. Top 5 reasons why Metazoo has become so successful. Metazoo focused on cryptids. Michael Waddell, don't bet on the horse, bet on the jockey. Marketing is on point. The community is amazing and it's still growing. And the collectability of Metazoo, it goes definitely above and beyond, going into different collectability spheres and also going into so many different lines of products. Definitely Metazoo is something to watch out for. If you like the video, please like it. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. I am just overtired now, and I'm really glad to say, as always, keep on casting, and I'll see you guys next time.